Hello, my beautiful witches. Mwah. I I saw some stuff online, and you guys know I just get on these little things where I feel like people really don't understand stuff, and I have this desire and urge to help sort through the BS in the witchcraft world. And so today this video is about protection. Not protection spells, not necessarily the rituals of it, but just why some witches talk about protection a lot, think that it's super important. I don't know. This is a general discussion on what protection is really about when you're doing spells or rituals, because I think the misconception is that most of the time we're protecting ourselves from like this thing that's supposed to be scary or bad or evil or wrongdoing or anything. And if you hear my kitten, she's down here. She's very talkative. This is Nami. Maybe she'll jump up here and get in the video. But so, the first thing that I want to acknowledge with protection and what you might feel you need to protect yourself from, whether when you're doing a spell or a ritual, is this a real fear or an imagined fear? Is this a real situation with humans that are trying to hurt you where you're in a really bad situation? Because that's real. That's protection like that you need to do mundane work around as well. If you're in an unsafe environment, if you're in an unsafe place. The imagined fears, that all comes out of inexperience. That comes out of what we don't know. Fear is generated from things we are unaware of or uneducated on, and none of us are sent here with all the knowledge in the world. We're supposed to get out there and research things so that we can become less afraid, or so that we can have a general idea. I always relate this to, how many people are afraid of spiders and snakes. And that's because we're taught as kids that, she's really talking. We're taught as kids that, the Black Widow. I mean, I grew up in California and Kansas City, so we had scorpions, we had Black Widows from those two areas, and then of course brown recluse. Those were the only spiders I was really taught about. So I thought when I was growing up that all spiders must be poisonous. They must bite, they must hurt you, could kill you, maybe, tarantulas in some areas and stuff. And then snakes as well. Which ones are we taught about? We're taught about the most dangerous, deadly snakes. We're not taught about all of the beautiful, wonderful snakes that help keep our ecosystems in balance, that, are pretty harmless to us, not to smaller creatures, but that they have a purpose. So that's number one. Is this protection that you're seeking, is it from something that's real? Do mundane work for that. Please get help. Please get to a safe location. Call numbers. Do what you can. Or is it imagined? It's because you don't know what you don't know, and so you're like, I better just protect myself against everything. That's the first question you should ask yourself when you're thinking about your protection rituals and whatever you want to do with that. Because that's normally where this comes from, is a place of fear. So next would be, like, mentally, what are you aligned with? So if you're a naturally nervous person, or you have a lot of fears, or you're uncertain, you're going to align yourself with more things to happen that align with that energy, that anxiousness, that, worry, fear, that unsettled feeling, I think. And I really like to address it in two ways. Okay, so you would have like fear and nervousness over here, and then you would have excited and confidence over here. And so whatever your situation is or what you're thinking about, where do your feelings lie within that? Are you doing these protection things because it's an unknown thing, it's fearful, you're like, I don't know? Or are you doing it in a way that's like, I'm excited, I want to set an intention for my space, I'm protecting in a way that's like, I put up this magical barrier because I love this place. I'm in love with where I'm at, and I would like to, keep all of this, the intention of it in. That's a protection. It's actually the opposite of doing something because you think you have a bad feeling. So if you have that nervousness or that stuff inside your head that's going on, making you feel like you need to do protection, really address those fears. Look into them. See what really comes up for you. Like, name them, label them. I'm gonna have to pick you up so people know that there's like an actual cat meowing down here. So what's feeding your fear? I always like to think about, what do we allow in our lives? We are in control of the barrier that we put up and what we allow into our lives, from the people we're friends with, social media, the TV that we watch, the news channel, the books we read, whatever it is. What are you feeling? What are you filling your life with? What energies are you allowing into there? Because you may need protection from that stuff. That might be what's causing your nightmares. That might be what's causing your bad feelings every time you're in a grocery store, you know? I know for me, my brother lived in Aurora, Colorado when there was a Denver shooting, and it was in a movie theater. And then for the next 10 times I went to the movie theater, that's what I thought about. And I was like, that's where I needed protection for myself. I'm like, I need to eliminate this thinking because it's not helpful. It's not healthy. It's an imagined fear. It's not real. Could it happen? Yes. But there's not a spell that's going to protect you against somebody's chaos or decision to do crazy shit. We just don't have that power. There's still things that need to happen in the universe that we can't control. But what we can control is what energies we align with. I've talked about the idea that I was really an anxious driver, and I just kept imagining car accidents, me getting into a car accident. And I kept seeing car accidents directly in front of me, like right there, the car in front of me. And I realized that I was manifesting that closer and closer to myself. And I was like, I better stop thinking like this, or I'm going to actually get myself into a car accident. Because what you think about, you bring about. That is the energy that you are going to align with. So whatever that imagined fear is, you know, just like the monster under the bed thing, that'll happen for you. You'll find ways to scare yourself because your brain is saying, this is real, this is real. And all you have to do is create, you know, a mantra, train your brain to think something different in order to get out of that habit of thinking about the scary things. You know, there's a story about my sister that I hope she's okay with me sharing this. I think so. It's been a long time, but I wrote this down as an example also because my sister and I decided, you guys know Jolene, we decided to go vegetarian. I actually challenged her when she was moving to Florida back in 2013 to go vegetarian with me for a month. I'd already been a vegetarian for, I think just a year, not that long. And she was like, if you can do it, I can do it. Well, of course, once you choose a lifestyle, you get really into uncovering like, what is the other industry about? So she was for about a year, maybe even 2 years, heavy into all the documentaries, the research, the leaked videos about all of the, you know, animal abuses that go on in the industries. And she was an advocate and she was signing petitions all over Facebook. And so her feed on her social medias, every day that she got on there, it was animals being tortured, abused, mistreated. And although she wanted to be an advocate for that, she was bringing in that sad, horrible, just awful feelings because you're watching that constantly, you know. You can be aware of something and then not totally dive into it and be in front of it every single day. So with her, it was like she had to figure out that this was really affecting her mental health, and she had to break away from that. She can still sign stuff, she can still speak out, she can still be a vegetarian and live her life the way she wants to, but ingesting all of those videos and documentaries and things like every single day, and it was all over her feed, it physically affected her. I mean, it made her really sad and lose hope in the world, you know? And this isn't about trying to like turn a blind eye, I don't know if that's the same, or ignorance. It's not that. We know it's happening, but if you are looking at stuff that you actually can't do anything about, you're torturing yourself. You're basically showing your brain, here's all the horrible in the world and there's nothing you can do about it. That's a terrible way to live. So instead, find small things that you can do that support the way that you want to live. If this is one of the things with like your, you know, the protection and the bad thinking and getting out of your head of, it's the repetition, you know, what we think about, we bring about. So if we're in constant like sadness, we're going to attract more sadness into our life. We're going to be sad. We're not going to find things to be happy about. There's going to be joy sucked out of it. And, you know, that's part of Jolene's story with becoming a vegetarian. And it was really, really rough to watch because I felt very responsible for that. I just felt like, you know, I wish I hadn't done that to her. I wish I hadn't shown her the few documentaries I had seen because she went way beyond me. It only took me a couple to know that I was like out of the meat industry. So it's the same thing. If you think you're having a streak of bad luck and you want to do a spell to protect yourself from bad luck, first examine your thoughts. What are you bringing into your life every day? What are you surrounding yourself with? Because remember, what we think about, we bring about. We align with that energy that our body is constantly in. So if you want to change what you're aligned with, you need to change your vibrational state, which starts with how you're thinking and what you're thinking about. If you're telling yourself every single day, the universe is sending me beautiful gifts every single day. I always get beautiful gifts from the universe. things will dramatically change for you, because your mind is going to believe that the more times you say it, and then you're going to become that with your vibration. And that's the frequency you send out into the universe. And then that's what comes back to you because you become aligned with it. That is how it works. I think that, protection needs to be talked about in a way that is not meant to protect us from bad things. It's actually meant to hold in our good intentions. It's a way of saying, I'm here, I own this space now, I'm going to take care of it, I'm going to protect it, I'm not going to let things into my space that do not align with what I want here. So you are actually the element that becomes the protector, not the spell, not the circle, not the bubble that you encase yourself in, but it's your energy in general. You get to become the thing that protects what you're looking at protecting. Protect your space, protect your house, protect who you let in your life. Make sure that where you're working is, good for your mental health. If not, look to go somewhere else. Relationships, there's a plethora of things we could name, but it is your job to protect the space that you're in. And that's really what protection is about. It's not about trying to keep people out. It's about unaligning with that type of person, place, relationship, thing, drug, whatever it is, and only allowing things into your field that you truly want in your life. I hope this video helps. It was kind of a rant, and I don't know. I just feel like it had to be said. So if you guys want to comment, let me know what you think. I'm sure it's probably going to, piss some people off the way that I talk about it. It is totally my opinion, and it's just the way that I've been practicing. So I hope you find it helpful. Bye.